Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you guys have been having a great weekend. Hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday evening so far. In this video, we're going to break down what potentially could happen tomorrow for areas of the country like Oklahoma and southern sections of Kansas, even areas of southern Missouri and southwest Missouri, as it's looking like we are going to have the potential for a high ceiling type event. Now, does that mean that the high ceiling scenario happens? No, it does not. But I can tell you some of the same areas that were under the gun Friday night with the Andover, Kansas tornado that ended up impacting that area are going to be under the gun again tomorrow for your first Monday of May. So that's really what we're going to focus in on this video tonight and really try to break down for you guys and try to figure out what's going to happen. There's going to be severe weather ongoing in western portions of Texas tonight. So there's a lot of great weather YouTubers out there that can break down things live for you guys. Places like Amarillo, Lubbock, Midland, Fort Stockton, all those western Texas towns are going to be under the gun for multiple supercells that have the capability of producing some large hail. So if you're in that area of the country or just want to know what's going on in that area of the country, stay tuned to them guys. They got you covered. But we're really going to focus in on tomorrow. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. You guys got anything I can pray about, please put in the comments below. As always, it gives me an opportunity to pray over it. Gives others an opportunity to do so too. So let's get rolling. Let's take a look, as usual, the satellite visibility here. And we're watching this area. You can already tell some big-time updrafts are popping up here in far, far southeast areas of New Mexico, and they will creep into Texas here within the hour. And you're going to have some initiation of some big-time supercells that really explode here in far western Texas. So be prepared in that area for sure. And then you just got this big-time spin that's really continues to pop up some big-time storms in these regions of the Carolinas and Virginia. Multiple reports of hail in areas of the Carolinas. There was a town actually up the road from my location that's reporting hail right now. So some of these storms are packing a punch currently in the Carolinas and the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic in general. So stay tuned and stay aware tonight if you're worried about these storms. But as far as a tornado threat, I don't see a big-time tornado threat with these storms at all, if a threat at all. But let's keep rolling here. Let's talk about tomorrow. Enhanced risk up. Now, it's not just the fact that there's an enhanced risk. I really think a moderate risk will be introduced by the time everybody's waking up in the morning. So if you watch this and you're watching it and it's Monday morning, this definitely could be upgraded to a moderate risk. But right now, as of Sunday afternoon, evening, it is an enhanced risk. This includes Oklahoma City, Tulsa, all the way to Springfield, Missouri, Wichita, Kansas. But I'm really worried about this region right here that I'm circling. And in fact, you look at the tornado risk in this area. And in fact, an enhanced risk is a level 3 out of 5 for you guys that don't know. But there is a 10% risk of a tornado and 25 miles at any given point dragging all the way down here to Oklahoma City. I really think Oklahoma, you're going to have trouble getting any kind of big-time convection firing up. But right here up to this triple point, kind of like what evolved Friday night, you're going to have the chance for multiple supercells, not just one or two that kind of got going Friday night, but multiple ones that can get going that could eventually kind of congeal into a line of storms. But there is not only a 10% risk of tornadoes in this region, but there is a hatch 10% risk, which means you have also an equal chance to see a stronger tornado, which is an EF2 or higher, which goes all the way up to EF5, which most of us already know that. But there's also a tornado risk, 5% risk going and lingering into areas of Missouri as you get into the evening hours when storms continue to move through. Damaging wind threat is there, especially right in this area where I really think you'll have a line of storms that pushes into southwest areas of Missouri and then far, far northwest areas of Arkansas into the late evening hours Monday night. Springfield, watch out, 30% chance of damaging winds, 25 miles on any given point. And normally with any kind of big-time supercell development predicted, you're going to have the chance for very large hail. And that is going to be the case just like tonight is across western areas of Texas. 30% risk of hail occurring in 25 miles at any given point. Basically, if you get under a supercell, you're going to see some kind of form of hail. At that point, it just really depends on how large it's going to be. But a hatch risk is also introduced. That is a 10% risk overlapping these other percentage chances right here of larger hail, which is 2-inch diameter or larger hail. So big threat tomorrow. Enhanced risk up for this region. But I really think it'll get upgraded to a moderate risk, which is a level 4 out of 5. So we have yet to see a high risk this year. I don't think, unless I'm missing something, but I think that the highest we've seen this year is a moderate risk. But let's keep this rolling, and we're going to start off by looking at the latest long-range H-triple-R model, which is a short-range convective model that just came out about an hour and a half ago. And we can really try to figure out how this is going to evolve. It's remained decently consistent over the last several hours. And really around 2, 3, 4 p.m., the early afternoon hours in this region of the country, supercells are already forming. Now, early in the morning hours, I'll back this up, you're going to have a lot of convection, meaning a lot of showers and storms already ongoing in areas of Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. But quickly, and I mean very quickly, the atmosphere is going to destabilize, even after being more so stable in the morning with morning showers and cloud cover. It's going to quickly become an open sector of dynamics here that's going to promote supercell development. And check it out here. Look at these, you see the darker reds, the purples, the pinks in here. These are supercells exploding in this open sector of moist and warm air right here. And at the same time, you got a low-level jet ramping up. And then watch out, these start to move and get closer to the Wichita area and over Kansas, which is just east of Wichita. Any cities, I really worry about any cities around Wichita. You guys are going to be under the gun tomorrow. These supercells straddling the Oklahoma-Kansas line as you're getting into the late afternoon, early evening hours. Especially, I really think you got to watch out. You got to watch out for these too, but these kind of lingering just to the south will have a little bit of more moist air to deal with, and still at the same time have all those dynamics that triple point brings, which is basically all the overlapping of the dynamics right up to the low pressure kind of moving over the Kansas region. You're going to have snow falling in areas of Nebraska. That tells you how dynamic this setup is. And so, normally when you have that kind of dynamics right here with that much difference in weather and a relatively short distance geographically, normally you have a pretty potent and powerful system, and that will be the case with this. But watch out this storm right here. This keeps on going. It kind of sags into Oklahoma. And these will have the chance to really produce a tornado. You notice you're not really seeing super discrete storms. I mean, they are kind of somewhat semi-discrete, but it's not going to matter. They're going to be discrete enough to take full advantage of the dynamics in this region. So if you're in this area of southern Kansas, south central to southern areas of Kansas, and then far areas of northern Oklahoma, watch out. Now let's go on and switch to my folks in Oklahoma. The H-triple-R model does not like the idea of a lot of convection firing up in this region. It really has the convection firing up along the actual trailing trough, the cold front that sags down Oklahoma City. This could bring a damaging wind threat, a large hail threat, and a tornado threat. But I think the tornado threat drops, as normally when you have supercells that eventually kind of congeal into a line of storms right here, you normally somewhat, the tornado threat somewhat lessens in this region, but there is going to be a chance of severe weather. What happens down here is you have all the dynamics in the world. Cape values reaching well over 3,000, pushing close to 4,000 joules per kilogram at the surface. Plenty of storm energy in this area down into Oklahoma City, even almost all the way down into the Oklahoma-Texas border. But you will have a little bit of capping in place down here with a dry line setting up. Normally you have to deal with that cap in place, which is like we've talked about before over the last several days and few weeks. It's that area of stable air that really prevents the full explosion of these storms from taking advantage of all the dynamics in the atmosphere. So you keep this rolling here. We'll have to watch. If any supercell gets going here down here in central Oklahoma, it will explode. It really will, and be very dangerous. But watch out areas into Missouri. In fact, let's talk about Missouri really briefly. I don't want to forget about you guys because you guys have an enhanced risk too. The leftover energy will trail into Missouri, probably into more so the late evening, overnight hours, and it will probably form into a bowing segment of line, kind of a mesoscale convective system that really forms here. It's going to be a big time damaging wind threat in this area of southwest Missouri, and then getting into areas of northern Arkansas into the overnight hours, midnight onward. We'll have a damaging wind threat and a lot of heavy rain in this region. This region of the country has already seen a lot of heavy rain. So let's talk about the dynamics really at bay here. Big time moisture, and this is what concerns me really, is you have a huge surge of surface moisture into Oklahoma all the way up to the triple point. Dew points reaching into the danger zone, which to me is when you get dew points into the 70-degree or higher range, that means you really have that moisture in place to really promote a tornadic environment. Now, you need a lot of other dynamics to come together too, but you're going to have them. So you're going to have plenty. It's going to be very humid tomorrow afternoon, evening in areas of Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and all the towns surrounding, all the way up in the southern borders, southern states of Kansas. But you're just going to have just enough moisture right when these storms are moving through southern areas of Kansas for it to work with the kinematics at place. So just know that a stout moist sector is going to build into this area, and a ton of low-level moisture, which is, basically think of that as a fuel to these storms. Looking at this in response to all this low-level moisture in place here, you're going to have some big-time CAPE levels. When I say CAPE, just think of storm energy. A lot of energy right here for these storms to fuel off of. Now, just because you have a bunch of energy in the atmosphere, that doesn't mean the storms are going to fire up. And what I mean is, you look right here, you're thinking, well, you got CAPE levels from the HRRR model pushing over 4,000 joules per kilogram. Why isn't storms exploding in this area? It's because you have capping in place. So you have all this energy in the atmosphere. But if you have that area of stable air, the updrafts have to rise, right, from a certain level of the atmosphere. And once they hit that stable air, they can't bust through that and really take advantage of all that other instability in the upper levels of the atmosphere above that area of stable air. So those updrafts can't really take advantage of that fuel above that little layer of nagging stable air. So that actually saves you guys from any big time outbreak of severe storms. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to have any severe storms in Oklahoma, but I'm saying that it's less likely down here per the latest HRRR model and what I just showed you. But you have enough CAPE right here in the southern border of Kansas to fuel some supercells for sure. CAPE values, pushing 1,000, 2,000 joules per kilogram. You look at the low-level jet that fires up. These are going to curve those hodographs, meaning you're going to have the looping hodographs. You're going to have the spin in the atmosphere. I'll stop this. This is for a Monday afternoon. You get that 30, 40, 50 knot low-level jet, so a pretty powerful low-level jet flying just east and just southeast of this low pressure, as it always does in these kind of situations. So you're going to have this spin in the low levels aloft, and you got about 40, 50 knots of bulk shear in this area. So there's going to be spinning in the atmosphere. So these all it takes is really for the supercell to fire up, the storm to really get going, and it immediately probably classifies as a supercell in this area of the country where all the dynamics are here. Therefore, any storm that does get going right in this region where you have the enhanced region, it is going to immediately start rotating and have a chance to produce a tornado. I'm telling you guys, please stay weather aware in this region of the country. You keep going here, I'm going to take a look at this. This is what we call updraft helicity swaths. It basically tells you where you can potentially have rotating updrafts. And here it goes. Starting, as early, let me see if I can get this going right, as early as tomorrow afternoon around 2 or 3 p.m., and continuing. Look at these storms. It's trying to tell you where a storm can be. I mean, look at this one straddling the Oklahoma-Kansas line, trying to say, hey, if whatever storm forms are going to have a strong signature for rotation, meaning it could produce a tornado. So, this is really indicating 3, 4, maybe 5 supercells that really forms here. But I really think there'll be 3 or 4 really dominant supercells that forms in this very isolated area, geographically speaking. And I just watch out, Wichita. Watch out, for real, guys. This is going to be a dangerous setup right into here. But going forwards, there's going to be severe weather potential Tuesday. There's going to be probably another outbreak of severe weather into Wednesday. And then there's also going to be a threat into your Thursday. So, severe weather is going to be the main topic over the next several days. Tomorrow is going to be dangerous, and I'm really concerned about Wednesday also in the same area as tomorrow. So please be careful. Have a way to get alerts. We've had some fortunate news, about no deaths, with a tornado in Andover, Kansas. But at the same time, if you're out here chasing, if you're a chaser, be careful, on the way home, on the way there, during the event. Just stay weather aware tomorrow, guys, really, for real. And even tonight, big time storms forming in this area of the country tonight. So I'll give you an update on this tomorrow for your weather tomorrow, and I'll keep you guys updated the best way I can on my part. So God bless all y'all. Have a safe night, and I'll talk to y'all in the morning.